For coming here. We just thought we should have a meeting with the chairman. You know, the current, if you read the newspapers and the messages which Ganesh also sends, there are a lot of messages about the economic situation, right? You're hearing about companies collapsing, world economy itself is in shambles, right? So each of us will be having some concerns, some ideas, our own apprehensions. And how does it impact us? How does it impact the company? These are questions in our minds, in our hearts. When you get home, you'll be wondering, your family will be asking. So, keeping that in view, we thought it would be nice to have our chairman to tell us what is happening, to tell us how what is happening will impact Ramki, how what is happening will impact us, and what is required of each one of us, both as a group and as individuals and as families. Okay, so that's how this meeting is there. So I request all of you to listen carefully. Also request you to ask your questions. You'll be having some questions, please feel free. Don't feel shy. You may have some ideas, some suggestions, because you're all working on the ground, you know. So whatever suggestions you have, feel free to share as well. So that is the whole idea of this meeting. This meeting is for each one of you. It is not for Mr. Ayodhya Reddy. It is not for Mr. Nagaraj. Okay, it's not for us, for me. It is for each one of us here, and more so for you. So it's your meeting, so please get the maximum out of it. Okay? That's my request. So I'll request now our chairman to address the evening.
So good evening friends, and I wish you all a very happy new year, and welcome you all for this interactive session this evening. I think it's about 4 or 5 months ago we all spoke, and I think I addressed all of you that time since 1984. So it's almost 24-25 years. See, every time I observed some cycle, at times it goes down and again it goes up and it goes down. And most of you, if you see majority of you, when I look at in the last 7-8 years, we have not seen anything going down. We have seen, from almost 2000 onwards, 2001, 2002 onwards, everything going up only. But what happened all of a sudden, without majority of our even understanding, in the last 1 year, which we felt about 5-6 months ago, market started crumbling, especially the Western world, the businesses, for whatever the reasons they did, economic collapsed. Almost you can say, it's in a very, very dangerous situation, which I'm sure all of you must be reading through newspapers. So this sort of a downturn, we felt that India and China will not impact that much. But I think in the last 1-2 months we could started feeling that also, that these two economies are also not away from what is happening outside, in the Western world. So already India started getting a major setback, even though we are not a exporting economy. China, unlike China has a lot of exports to Western world. So everybody thought China will get impacted maximum, but India will not. But what happened, unfortunately, there is no money flowing from the Western world to India. That's predominantly in the form of equities. In any company, money has to be kept. Then, loans will come. Equities have to come, and then loan will be given. And with the equity debt, the business grows. When money is not coming from America, Europe and all that, then there is no loans that are being given by Indian institutions also. So that way, entire money flowing into companies started going down. So this is let's not go into complete details of what economy, how it is running, etc. There is no money coming into the system. That is the reason, if you have seen most of the private projects, I think they are all in a very, very bad shape. So, even in infrastructure sector also, since government has to spend a lot of money, even they will not spend because their tax collection is going to go down, and they have priority like roti kapda, makan also later, roads, infrastructure ki baat later. Today how our governments are trying to lure the voters, by giving free everything. So that way there will not be much money left with the government also to spend on roads, water, wastewater, irrigation, anything, if you look at. So I want you to understand that government's money also coming into the infrastructure sector also will go down. So which means private to nahi hai, government mein they are cutting down the cost. Then what will happen to the infrastructure? It will not take the growth as it was projected. Let me tell you 6 months ago, 4 months ago, 1 month ago. Every day things started deteriorating like anything. This is the real situation. Okay. When this is the situation, what is the future for Ramki infrastructure? Fortunately, 95% or more of your projects are in government sector. Within that also, if you look at, more than 70%, I think properly funded projects. We have almost, I think, 6,000 crore orders on hand, and I think close to another 2,000 crore we are L1. So I think almost 8,000 crore orders we will be having on hand. And we are also lucky, we have not leveraged much, our balance sheet, our debt equity also reasonably okay. But there is this threat of not having right kind of cash flows. Because of this not having right kind of cash flows, at times, things might get completely delayed. At times, if we are working 10 people, we may have to work only 2 people on the project, 5 people on the project. So you all have to understand that there is going to be a problem, even though we are reasonably placed compared to majority of our peers. But let's look back. How we have grown in the crisis times and how we were in the last 3-4 years, 2-3 years. Now if you really look at from 94-95, from 0 to, I think in 2009 we will be closing anywhere somewhere 2,500 crore scale. Let me tell you, within the Indian business scenario, there are very few companies who have grown with this sort of a positive growth. What I am trying to tell that don't get panic. We have seen in the 94 to 2009, at least we have seen 2 downtrends. But every time we have tried to revisit ourselves, we have fine-tuned ourselves, we made certain sacrifices, and we have bounced back. Let us be ready to make our company a very strong company, even if we have to do certain sacrifices, to see that you all retire from this company. So, which means minimum, we have to ensure such sort of a business plans. We have to ensure such sort of a commitment, such sort of a deliverance. Each one of you should look at that, it's my own company, my own house. I have to see that this is, this company survives for future. Is what is very, very, very essential. First I say that it should start from the top management. We are responsible for the good and bad of this company. I am very clear on this aspect. If this company is successful, all of us are responsible, but the primary responsibility, I say that, it should start from us. If some company fails, some management, most of the decisions that are taken in recent times, the management, top management, they are responsible. I want that all of us have to be mentally prepared to ensure that this sort of a fine-tuning is done in the organization, which process might take out some people from within the system. Don't worry, I just want to tell one thing. All the people who have contributed to the company's growth, all the people who are sincere, committed and intelligent and who have the knowledge, I am sure they will not have any problem in this process. Some of us do not have proper role responsibility, proper reporting structure. All these things, I think I don't say there is anybody's blame. I don't want to blame anybody here. But I think, we all have to revisit ourselves and be prepared to do more hard work, try to understand your role responsibility very clearly. Get your, if you are not able to, if you are not given a proper work, try to go back to your boss and find out what it is, and ensure that you are giving the right kind of deliverance for which you have been appointed. Ultimately, a quality and an efficient outcome is brought in. I think that is the ultimate thing with which we need to look at. You all should appreciate this process. You should not get panic. We will be taking up some exercise. I have told people that there has to be a manpower reduction. I have told that there has to be overhead reduction, at least 40% overhead reduction, 30% manpower reduction. I have told, I asked all the top team to work out, and also all the projects, material costing should go down by minimum 40%. We have to see, because it is not just for you or me, the entire economy slow down, it is for everybody. They don't have orders. Every purchase order needs to be renegotiated. We are telling all projects should be cash positive. So you have to, if you are a project manager or if you are a coordinator or if you are a purchase man, you have to ensure that whatever is budgeted, that has to be at least 20%, 30% more cash positive. Each activity that individually each of you are doing turns into cash positive. And we have to limit working capital. I told your CFO very clearly, we will not give beyond 10% cash positive, 10% working capital. So I want you to all to kindly take note of this and be ready for certain sacrifices which are in the larger interest of your organization and yourself. Which I can only assure you one thing. As a chairman of this group, I tell you that I will not allow this company or this group to bow down as long as, I am sitting there.
As a head of RIL, I assure you, we will take your advice, and whatever directions given by the corporate office, definitely will implement, and we will fine tune our workings, and we will see that whatever directions you have underlined, we will try to implement, and hence by increasing the productivity, by increasing the PAT and by reducing the overheads, definitely we will take in that direction.